Oh, I muted myself when I thought I unmuted myself. Welcome back, everybody, to an exciting, wild and nutty Friday show. Tonight, we're doing another watch party. We're going to do a little mini marathon for you on a show that we have made fun of and alluded to for years, but we've never done any content whatsoever on the channel about. Somehow, for 13 years, I've never done anything on Super Friends. I've always wanted to. I always meant to do a top 10 list for this, like with other cartoon shows that I've done on Rewind, or at least some kind of silly overview thing. This show, we just cannot stop constantly going back to in superhero things and referencing, and it's a thing that everybody knows about and remembers, but I think a lot of people have never actually sat through any of it. You know, everybody knows the Hall of Justice and stuff, and everybody knows that nobody throws a punch in this show. But how many of us have actually sat down and watched any of this? So Austin, this is going to be his first time seeing any Super Friends. It's very exciting.
Oh yeah, no, I'm excited because that's been me. Like I've always known about the show, of course. I've never actually seen it. I've seen like clips and stuff, but that's about it.
It's kind of what I had for a long time with the '60s Spider-Man show. And you finally made me watch that. And in a weird way, this will be sort of a follow-up to that.
Yeah, exactly. And I've always assumed that was the better show, just because it seems to be remembered a little bit better. Probably like a little bit of a better adaptation as well. I don't know.
Yeah, if you look at it as adaptation, absolutely. I think in certain ways it probably didn't have. I mean, there was a lot of censorship with that too, but I think that kind of ham-fisted this show maybe worse than that. And that's also 10 years before this.
Yeah, no, I didn't realize A, how long this went for, and B, I always thought this was a lot earlier than it actually was.
Yeah, Super Friends starts in the 70s and ends off in the early 80s, and it has a number of different iterations. They keep changing the cast. It starts as just Super Friends, and then later there's Challenge of the Super Friends. There's a number of different titles, and we're going to watch episodes tonight. We're going to watch 5 episodes. We're going to watch at least 4, but I think we'll get to all 5 of them, and we're going to jump around all through the show. I let Austin pick every episode tonight, even though he's never
Just
seen
like
the
with
show
Spider-Man.
before. Yeah, and I guess just based on like silly things you knew about the show and maybe just titles and things, how did you pick them?
So I looked at like a few things that people suggested, and I picked one of them off of that, and then for the rest, it was just kind of like, oh, this sounds funny.
Oh, did one of our viewers ask or suggest anything?
Yeah, so Josh
Oh, it was
suggested
Josh. Okay, cool. Thanks, Josh.
Giants of Doom, and then Robert Wild suggested a Scarecrow episode called Fear, and I almost picked that, but then there was one. I was like coming down to the line where it was like, okay, I need to cut down some of the episodes I have, and the deciding factor was that the Swamp of the Living Dead one, it looked like also had Scarecrow in it, so I went, like I'll pick that one instead because that looks funnier.
Because he's a member of the Legion of Doom.
Yeah, exactly. So
when we get to that, we're not going all the way back to first season, but we are going to do an episode from season 2, and we're going to jump all the way to the last season of the show for at least one episode. In season 10, there is an episode, and I think I've seen this before. I knew about this. It'll be interesting when we look at it. Of course, we're doing this totally blind. Neither of us prepared for this at all. Originally, we were supposed to do Pirates of the Caribbean 2 tonight, and I did not have time to prepare for that the way I wanted to. So we're going to try to do that next week, which is why we decided to do something silly and blind tonight. We've talked about doing Super Friends forever, and Austin suggested that this is what we should replace it with. So apologies to the patrons that picked Pirates. We will definitely be doing that next week. But there is a Death of Superman episode.
Yeah, which I picked because I was like, well, I have to pick that for Cap.
A decade before that happens in the comics. And
yeah.
I'll tell this story real quick. I have a very distinct, and I don't know what it is. I've wanted to. I don't want to have to sit through this whole show. It gets real redundant and stuff. But I almost want to say this doesn't really hold up. I don't know that it held up then. You know what I mean? This wasn't exactly what anybody wanted, but it was a lot of people's introduction to these characters, which is why it's significant. But anyway, when I was I don't know, 11, 12, watching this show on Cartoon Network because it played a lot during the day back when Cartoon Network was running a lot of rerun runs for things, pardon me, and then their original content they'd play at more of the primetime hours. I distinctly remember an episode with Doomsday in it. It's not possible. Like, there's no way. But I remember something that looked very close, but I also... So, like, it must have been something. But, like, this is one of those... I forget what the term is for it, but this is one of those things where
Mandela
I have this...
effect?
Yeah, and I guess sort of because it's only me, it's not anybody else with it, but like I have this distinct recollection of his being called Doomsday and it feeling like another really silly adaptation of a character, but like it's before that character existed. It's not possible.
I have that with the first Alien movie. Maybe not anymore because like I know that movie a lot better now. But I remember watching it as a kid and going like, "Oh my God, there's a predator skeleton in this one scene on the planet." That's also not possible. But for years, it was like I had this image burned in my head, and that's not a thing.
It's crazy. I brought this up before, but I had it with Star Trek First Contact, where there's a scene that I remember in the theater from that movie that's not in that movie. There's a line when Worf is first introduced in that film, the way we have the movie now, anyway, where he says, perhaps today is a good day to die. And I distinctly remember a scene where we see him before, where he says it's not a good day to die, and it's actually a follow-up line, but it's not in the movie. So either they took a scene out when they put it to video and no one on the planet but me remembers it, or I made it up in my head. I don't know. But yeah, so anyway, this is a very strange thing that I have. But I have it with this, where there's... Anyway, Death of Superman's not going to have Doomsday in it. That's impossible. But it'll be fun to see how they kill Superman.
Oh yeah, well,
Yeah.
and there was an episode called Doomsday because I was like, "Oh, I should put that on my list," because like, it's Doomsday and you got Superman, and then I scrolled down further and it was like, "Wait a minute, Death of Superman." Okay, never mind. That wipes Doomsday off.
But you weren't actually thinking that Doomsday, the character, was in it, were you?
No,
Because
no. It was like just kind of funny, like, "Oh, you're
1991, Austin, like,
Yeah.
not possible.
No, it was a like, oh, haha, like it's called Doomsday and you're a Death of Superman guy." Obviously, it has nothing to do with anything.
Sure, yeah.
It's kind of like there's an episode of 60 Spider-Man called it's something Dr. Magneto, but it's just like a guy who looks like Einstein, and he's got
It's
like a
not
little
Magneto.
magnet gun, but it's spelt Magneto, but they all
Yeah.
call him Magneto. It's pretty awesome.
Anyway, the other thing I want to mention real quick before we get into our first episode, by the way, just so that you guys can look this up, I put all the episode titles that we're doing tonight in the description, as I usually try to do. On HBO Max, if you can watch it that way, it has all of Super Friends listed as one show, mercifully, and split up into each individual season. So all you have to do is type in, if you want to, the name of the episode, and it'll pull it right up in the search bar, which is a really nice feature with Max. Not all these streaming services do that. But you can also just go to the season and scroll down and find it, because I have put all the episode numbers in there for you. So on HBO Max, our first episode tonight is going to be... I'm sorry, let me move this around, because I want to do these in the order they came out in. And I fixed this, but it is not in there right for some reason, so let me change it back. Sorry about that.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
Season 2
While you're
episode...
monkeying with that, Cap, sorry, you forgot to put the screen on. And
Oh,
we
for you?
started before I forgot to remind
Oh,
you.
sure,
Yeah.
no problem.
Sorry.
Let me fix that for you. But anyway,
Yeah, no worries.
Season 2, Episode 10 is the first episode we're going to start with. It's the 50-Foot Woman. Now, this is a longer episode. It's like 45 minutes. We're only going to watch that one section, that short, and then we're going to move on to our next episode. So, 50-Foot Woman, and then after that, we're going to skip up to Season 4 and watch Giants of Doom. So we're going to be watching mostly the middle to latter half of this show tonight, and that's where the juicier, sillier stuff that everybody remembers is anyway once Legion of Doom is introduced and all of that. But the other thing I wanted to mention real quick is years ago, this is a website that goes all the way back to probably 2000, 2001. I found this hilarious website. I'm so glad it still exists, by a guy named Sean Baby, and I think he might be a game designer or something. I can't remember. He's worked in the entertainment industry. He made a whole website devoted to the insanity that is this show, and wrote a lot of really funny articles, a lot of which are very politically incorrect, and I'm sure there's offensive stuff in there. And I think that, so if that kind of thing bothers you, when I read some of that later, it didn't come from me, but I remember it being really funny. And I pulled up an article earlier today just to make sure that I wasn't remembering it wrong, and that I wouldn't be like, what is this? Why would I want to read this? And I started reading the Riddler entry, and I got 2 sentences in, and I was like by myself laughing out loud, and I was like, yes, I have to read some of this tonight. It's wonderful. So we're going to watch this first episode, and then what he has is all these write-ups about individual characters from the show, and just talking about very strange things that happen with them and how insane and terrible all of these people are if you think too much about the implications of their actions. And so each time we watch an episode, I want to pick a character out of that episode that we just watched and read at least some of his write-up for that character. And if it ends up not being as funny as I think it's going to be, we'll quit doing it. But there's going to be some profanity in there too, and I don't know if I'll just read it and just live with that or try to skip over that. But anyway, we'll play it by ear. So we're going to do some of that tonight too. It'll be fun. It'll make the stream go a little bit longer, but it'll be worth it. So anyway, without further ado, Season 2, Episode 10, we're going to blind watch The 50-Foot Woman, and this will only be, 12, 15 minutes, and then we'll read a thing, and then we'll go to the next episode. Is everybody ready? Is everybody excited? I'm excited.
Oh yeah, I'm super excited.
Oh, I can't wait. This is going to be great. Okay, here we go. Everybody, please press play. Make sure you're watching Season 2, Episode 10. And I didn't put the timer up this evening. My apologies there. I guess I can real quick. Austin, you think it's necessary? You think I should do it?
It's up to you.
I know people really appreciate it when I do.
Do as your heart desires.
Well, my heart desires getting started. This ain't for my heart. This is for you people.
And at the longest, only 20 minutes. So it's whatever you decide.
Okay, give me just a second here.
Mm-hmm.
Dun dun dun. My apologies, guys. This is gonna take a second.
When are we going to get a Super Friends Blu-ray? That's what I want to know. Now that we're doing all of these DC shows.
I don't know that they'll ever do a Blu-ray for it.
Well, because there's that like other Batman cartoon. I can't remember which one it is. They just announced as getting it, but it's one that like no one cares about.
Oh yes, it's the Adam West animated show. I have that on DVD.
Oh, that's the one it is.
But no, you're right. If that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that just Adventures of Batman and Robin? I can't remember what that's called. But if that
either. Is that the one with Batmite in it?
Yes, I think so.
I remember watching that as a kid and being like, "This kind of sucks," but then I kept watching it anyways.
Yes, but I think there's a good chance that Super Friends winds up on Blu-ray if that's happening. I mean, it's better than Disney, which just doesn't release a lot of their stuff now. At least it originally goes to Disney Plus.
Yeah, I don't even know who owns 60s Spider-Man at this point because it's not on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
it was a Disney DVD release that's now like out of print and really expensive, and I have it, so it's nice. But
Robert Wild says the Super Friends theme unironically plays in my head on a pretty regular basis, and it gets changed in some places, but I think, does it retain the same melody all the way through, or are there seasons that move away from it? And
I'm not sure.
I'm just trying to remember. Yeah, I'm kind of just asking myself out loud.
Yeah, because I would seek help for that though, Robert.
Yeah, I don't know. I think of this show and I try to remember the theme, and for some reason, just the A-Team theme comes to my head. Bum 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 bum. Let's do an A-Team mini marathon.
Let's do just the A-Team, but with the Super Friends. That's how you reboot it.
Okay, we're actually gonna start now, guys. 50-Foot Woman, season 2, episode 10. Everybody, please press play right now.
Ba-ba-ba. Here we go.
Ba-da-da-da-da. My subtitle said male narrator. I really appreciate their telling me that it was male.
Yeah, no, I like that. It's really funny to me that of everything from Super Friends, it's specifically just Aquaman that like had the stigma from the show that never really left.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah, and I guess probably part of that is that everybody else of like the main Justice League members had something else after this.
No, that's true. Well, and then a lot of characters get made fun of that were created for this that we don't see in much else. Like there's that, nobody remembers the Wonder Twins, real fondly.
Hey, they almost got a movie.
I know. Which seems like a Sony move, really. Or like Jan and Jace. Or I guess Jan and Jace are the Wonder Twins, aren't they? Who am I? Oh, yeah. You had before that. You had Marvin, and then you get the Wonder Twins. I don't know if the Wonder Twins and Marvin ever show up. Marvin and did he have a sister? I can't remember.
Oh,
it's been too long since I've seen any of this.
Like, what the hell is that? You got Superman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Marvin.
Yeah, just this kid sidekick that runs around with them who's got a pet monkey.
That's like that.
It's Hanna-Barbera, and you've got to have that. You gotta have the kid sidekick and the pet sidekick.
That's like the Suicide Squad joke where there's the bus driver hanging out with them the whole time, Milton. It's like there's just like a guy with them.
Professor Amy Zahn. Why'd you already foreshadow that you got ahead of it and told us she was gonna grow giant?
Hillary Clinton's gonna become really big and attack the world.
And Hillary Clinton as the Invisible Girl. Oh, they're making this a whole gender thing.
Only if I'm 50 feet tall can I compete with.
It's the only way I can compete with a man. Oh yes, Wendy and Marvin. There you go. Oh, they were accompanied by a wonder dog. That's what it was. There was the dog, and then I guess the monkey ran around with the Wonder Twins. That's what it was. This is the laziest animation. Hanna-Barbera and Filmation did this kind of thing too. They can't like actually animate growing or a character transforming. It's just like, I mean, I guess it's technically animated, but it looks like we just cut corners and went like, here's her at this size, and now she's at this size, and now she's at this size.
Yeah. No, next time we do 60s Spider-Man, we should do the one where Scorpion becomes 50 feet tall.
Every one of these shows has to have that episode, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We've got to stop Professor Zaslav. Whoa. The Super Friends logo, I think, gets a little bit better later. It's so generic there, and like
it's just SF.
Yeah, like stop it. It came at my face twice in a 20-second period.
Now I'm not scared to walk down the street as a single woman in this town.
And a barefoot woman at that.
Yeah, ouch.
I like that her ouch. I like that her clothes are like slightly ripped.
Yeah,
but not at the
cool.
places you would think they would be. Or at least all the places you'd think they would be, right?
Yeah, because she's wearing a dress, but like the skirt is ripped.
Robin was wearing no gloves.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yep. There's a lot of animation mistakes like that in the show.
Oh, of course. My favorite one with like Batman is in the Scooby-Doo crossover, where there's just like one shot where Batman has no pants, like his legs are colored skin color.
Yeah, it's great. And there was stuff like that a lot even when I was growing up in like 80s and 90s shows too. Like Ninja Turtles has some really funny ones. But this show, especially the early seasons, because Cody Anime Fan made a good point saying that the later seasons the animation got better. But like, you know, these were real rushed out, and the early seasons especially, you could probably find a mistake like that in every episode.
Well, and that's kind of Hanna-Barbera's thing, is that they were like super cheap animation. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like some of their stuff still holds up, like Scooby-Doo, but like very cheap.
There were other houses that were even cheaper than that, like Filmation.
Well, and Hanna-Barbera was still like a pretty big animation house for TV.
Yeah. No, they did a lot of the Saturday morning cartoons, and probably stuff that some people don't even realize was them. Or didn't until... It's funny because when Cartoon Network got in cahoots with Hanna-Barbera in the 90s, I feel like, or this is my perception anyway from when I was growing up, that suddenly everybody started realizing just all the cartoons that were Hanna-Barbera, because they started showing up together in blocks, and because they did a lot of advertising where they would have a lot of these characters interacting with each other in sort of like little commercial pseudo crossovers. Like, I didn't know Johnny Quest was Hanna-Barbera before that.
Oh,
I may not have known what Johnny Quest was before that, to be brutally honest with you, but...
I don't know what this is, but that's Hanna-Barbera? What?
Wow, what? I just can't remember. It's been so long. Robert Wild, thanks, buddy. Put in a $5 super chat and says, I prefer the International Justice League of Super Acquaintances myself, the ILISA. They had the best lunchbox, too.
That sounds like a film cinematic universe.
It just rolls off the tongue. That's what Gunn is going to change the DCU to when he comes to agree with me that it shouldn't be called the DCU.
Well, I hope it's just called the DCU too.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Does Batman not look more like an action figure every time she's holding him? Like.
Yeah, no, he absolutely does. He does not come with accessories.
You know, it was quite a choice to adapt Man-Bat in this way, I think.
Well, imagine if this was the first episode of the animated series. on leather heels.
On 50-foot wing. That's much better. That's much better than where I was going. Yeah. Oh, you shot up the bat cable.
Well, it's a good thing he connected, considering her plane's invisible.
It's also amazing that the line doesn't bounce around at all, flying through the air. It stays in one spot.
Well, did you hear what Batman said before they did that, though?
No, I missed it.
He said, hey, do you remember that film that hasn't come out yet, The Empire Strikes Back? And then they connected their cable.
Remember that really old movie that hasn't been made yet? See, the problem with the invisible jet is that you can see the people driving it, so what's the point? Like, the jet's invisible, but, like, she was able to grab it because it's obvious where it is. There's women in it.
Yeah. And plus, you just look awkward when you're invisible, but you're just kind of like this, flying around.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, the show took a lot of its cues, particularly with Batman stuff, from 60s Batman, and the big difference between all of these cartoons that were looking to that, of course, is you just didn't have the clever tongue-in-cheekness, of course, of that show. And that's why... And this is... besides the fact that nobody's allowed to kick or punch each other, nearly every episode, by the way, in the early seasons,
like a
I think just ends with people laughing. Yeah.
Oh, that was only 8 minutes. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
No, that was perfect. Wonder Woman's like, oh, you know, now you can find a proper dress size.
But I was just going to say, besides the fact that there's not actually any violence, we're going to go ahead and stop that episode here, and by the way, guys, and we'll go on to the next one here in a second. That was the only one we wanted to watch from that. I think after this, they'll all be the length that they are.
That was the only one that was like a mix of stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know the show actually ever really did that. But anyway, I will finally get this point out, I think. But this was actually more or less what a lot of DC Comics kind of read like right then, because you were in, or at least just before this, you were in the mid '60s to getting into late '60s. You had like Batman, especially taking a lot of its cues from the '60s show in how goofy the situations were, but then all the characters kind of played it more straight. And so you didn't have the satire aspect of it. It was just that show, if it didn't know it was silly, which is why I really appreciate that Brave and the Bold got made.
Yeah, absolutely. That was back when every single DC cover had a gorilla on it.
Yeah, right. Remember that? Which is probably why Gorilla Grodd is in so much of Brave and the Bold.
Well, it's funny. I saw on Twitter the other day somebody was like, "Oh, they were explaining about how like common that was back then, and then DC had to put in like a no gorilla." Or like a one gorilla a month thing, where it was like, we can't have all these gorillas on our covers. There's too many. And James Gunn was like, "Don't worry, I will remove the gorilla ban moving forward for the DCU. As many gorillas as you want, we can have them."
Oh, great.
I was
My
like,
eyes glaze over. It's not as bad as like Legion or Booster Gold, but like I don't care about the gorilla stuff.
What's that? I just want to see, what is it, Titano, the one who's got like kryptonite vision, stuff like that.
I
just want to see
mind
that weird stuff.
I wouldn't mind one appearance for like the Ultra Humanite though. It'd be cool to find like him in something. That's
yeah,
not
just
gorilla,
do all the weird gorilla stuff. That's what I want to see.
Okay, I'm gonna read a little bit of some of this website, and hopefully this is as fun as I think it's going to be. So, like I said, this is a thing called Sean Baby, and he did this whole website about the show. This is from like 20 years ago, and at the top it says the Super Friends somehow stayed alive for 10 years by hiring people who could talk to fish, match a cape to their underwear, and turn into a bucket of water. They fought everyone from supervillains to dolls from space to insane altruists who decided that making giant unstoppable mutant fish and running the Earth into a comet was the best way to solve our, quote, food storage. So Austin, pick a character that was in the episode we just watched that we should read a little bit about. I won't read the whole thing, especially if we pick somebody like Batman or Superman that's long. But
well, I'm tossed between Wonder Woman and Robin.
Okay.
I'll say Wonder Woman.
Okay. Well, so Austin, I've been wanting to show you and the channel this website for years. I'm so excited we're finally doing this. Wonder Woman. I'm going to skip around a little bit. Wonder Woman's unofficial job on the team was giving Aquaman a ride to any place that wasn't along the water. If you want to see how often that might have been, try to travel by boat to every place you go in the next week. That's probably why Wonder Woman could never finish getting dressed. She was busy playing taxi for the damn fish idiot. One thing about Wonder Woman is that whoever did her voice couldn't disguise it. When the Zimbabwean ambassador popped onto the Trouble Alert screen, oh yeah, the Trouble Alert, with a chef hat and a Turkish accent, you weren't quite sure if it was Batman's voice. But when Wonder Woman took a second job as the voice of the villain, there was no mistaking it. Sometimes she tried to muffle it a little, but that only made more of a mess. Star Trek the Animated Series had this problem a lot also, by the way, because that show was mostly just Majel Barrett doing all the women voices, like almost all of them, and then Nichelle Nichols did all the other ones, and they couldn't disguise their voices at all. You can always tell it was them. It just meant that when the villain showed up, it looked like Wonder Woman changed bikinis and got a cold. We couldn't tell if it was supposed to be her in disguise, her long-lost twin, or me imagining Wonder Woman was talking to me again. I don't remember ever coming to the conclusion that the Super Friend producers got cheap with their voice actor payroll and stuck a napkin over Wonder Woman's mouth. For a kid, admitting your cartoon heroes were thrown together by interns and animation sweatshop workers would be like admitting Santa Claus was your dad and your mom's breasts were fake. We'll see what else he has to say about Wonder Woman here. She gets a lot of crap for her star panties, even though everyone on her team wears pretty much the same outfit. It's like every superhero went swimming one morning and said, shit, guys, we don't have to go home and change. We could just go fight crime like this. I guess it does look a little bit cheap on Wonder Woman, though. Samurai is only wearing bloomers and go-go boots, too, but he's from Japan? And there's that insane cultural gap. We're lucky he's not wearing dead fish and a pink cowboy hat. Maybe this is another gender double standard, like how boys can have sex with girls without being called lesbians, but Wonder Woman should have at least put on a skirt. It looked like she was working for tips. If I saw her in a club, I'd say, hey, give me change for that $5 bartender. The next dancer looks cheap. So yes, this is how this guy writes.
I'm so glad you read that on the channel.
It's really funny. Yeah, I know, and like I feel weird reading some of this on the channel, but it's really funny. Yeah. So anyway,
perfect.
Can't help myself. We'll definitely read the Riddler article later.
Oh, yeah,
okay. Well, let's get to the next episode, shall we? The next one is Swamp of the Living Dead, Season 4, Episode 10, according to HBO Max.
I see. Yeah, so I guess this is like a Halloween episode.
Oh,
possibly. I don't know.
Is Swamp
just by the
Thing
title.
in it? I'm gonna assume not.
Oh, okay. I assume maybe.
I'm not sure if they ever got to adapt Swamp Thing.
Oh, no, I said like a Halloween episode. I don't think they did Swamp Thing.
No, I know. I wasn't saying that based on that. I was just asking. Since it has Swamp in the title, I wonder if they were able to adapt Swamp Thing. I don't know. But probably not.
Yeah, I would think probably not. Wouldn't that be interesting? Because it would be before Alan Moore, so it would just be Silver Age Swamp Thing.
Yeah, that's true. There is a lot of stuff that got adapted in this that you wouldn't think the show would try to do. And we are doing the Insane Darkseid, or one of the Insane Darkseid episodes, and it's just nuts that they even tried to do that. They had a hard time even getting the network to let them have a character called that.
Mm-hmm. And I guess that's why they made him like a complete simp in the show. That's how they counteracted it.
Yeah, exactly. Darkseid, ooh, it's anticlimactic, really. Okay, so once again, Season 4, Episode 10. Get ready to press play when I say now, and we're going to blind watch this one, and this one will be a full 20 minutes. Here we go. Everybody, please press play right now.
Oh, it's a different theme. Whoa!
Yes, because now we're into the Legion of Doom stuff, and there's Scarecrow.
Wait, was that Bizarro? He's just Superman with more lines on his face?
Yep, that's Bizarro. Well, that's what Bizarro looked like in the comics at that point, too.
Okay, he wasn't white back then? Or like a pale kind of...
No, I think he did have that kind of, like, weird, jagged, angular face. Oh my god, it's Batman.
Oh, and Captain Cold is blue.
There's a lot of giant people in the show.
There's a gorilla.
There's Cheetah.
And Cheetah looks way better here than she does in 84, let's be honest.
The Legion of Doom had some weird picks. It's like, let's just kind of pick random Batman villains out of a hat. We'll have Scarecrow and Riddler. Okay.
But that just reminds me of, there's like an old SNL skit, or maybe it's the news, where it's like, oh, there's this great meeting of like terrorists that are like all working together to destroy America, and they like listed off some real life terrorists at the time, like Osama bin Laden, and then you get to the end and it's like, and Jafar and the Riddler.
Jafar! That's amazing. And it all goes back to Gilbert Gottfried on this channel, man.
Oh yeah, I learned recently, Cap. Did you know this? Rocket Raccoon's
Wait,
voice...
why is the why is the witch from Snow White just in this episode?
Oh, I don't know. She's like the dollar store equivalent, though.
Wow. Like, and I would expect Black Manta to be shorter than Solomon Grundy, but God, he looks like he's 4 feet tall.
Oh, there's my boy
Wow,
Scarecrow.
Scarecrow's voice is amazing. I'm sorry, what were you trying to say a minute ago?
Oh, did you know that Rocket Raccoon's voice, like the Bradley Cooper voice in the MCU, is partly based on Gilbert Godfrey?
What?
I saw him in an
How?
interview recently, and when I thought about it, I was like, okay, but when he gets loud, I can kind of hear it now.
Weird. I'll have to
It-
listen for that now. That's yeah. You just blew my mind with that.
yeah, it was somebody else. It was like somebody and Gilbert Godfrey. And then I was thinking about it, and I'm like, oh, I can kind of hear it.
Oh, this is the thing I suddenly remember about this show that Solomon Grundy's always walking around like this. He's got his hands.
I'm pretty sure Solomon Grundy is just like a reused Scooby Doo look.
It sounds like whoever's voicing Cheetah is trying to do like a pseudo Julie Newmar with it or something.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's like she doesn't know that Cheetah's not Catwoman.
How embarrassing is it that their Scarecrow design's kind of better than the first two animated series Scarecrows?
I don't agree with that.
At least the first one.
It.
It's basically the same design.
I feel
as
like it's the
second
same
one.
thing, except it looks like somebody put it under their sheets and put the mask under their sheets and slept on it for a month.
It's the mask on Halloween too.
Exactly. I like that it blinks.
Yeah,
I love
no,
stuff
like
like
his
that makes no
eyes
sense.
that are, yeah.
How many
It's
times is
the
she going to say
power
evil?
of evil.
And is there going to be some kind of reveal that this generic witch is actually somebody else, or is she just going to be this generic witch?
Oh, it'll be Batman. There'll be like shadow that goes over her face, and it's Batman's shadow.
I threw a rock at him!
I threw
A rock of evil!
I threw my snake of evil.
Yeah, who's this Dracula guy? We have nothing to give that's good! This is great. So I don't know what's Halloween about this except just inherently, all the horror imagery. Like, when you say it's a Halloween episode, like,
There's some like Halloween-y things going on.
it's Halloween-ish.
I just
But
guessed,
you said that like it was almost a Halloween special or set on Halloween or something, I thought.
Oh no, I just assumed like, oh, this probably aired around Halloween. I've always loved that Lex Luthor walks around in like a bright pink shirt. Oh, there's Green Lantern and Flash.
I don't understand why they pay this narrator to keep saying Hall of Justice, because they could just take the one time he said it and put it in every episode, but I'm pretty sure he keeps re-saying it. Oh, and there's Black Vulcan, who nobody remembers after the show.
Yeah, who?
Because he was made for the show. But still, during a period where black superheroes always had to have black in their name.
Hawkman, can you not report this like 5 feet to the right where there's not a
Now
crocodile?
they got the bat buggy. Why not just drive a car? Why are you in a dune buggy? Oh, does that drive better in the swamp?
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess
That's
it's like,
off-roading.
wouldn't it be better to have like a bat jeep or
Wouldn't it also be better to have like a round view and not in the shape of a bat?
in the shape of a bat? It's so good.
Batman, Robin, help! I'm in waist deep water.
Hang on, Hawkman. I'm yelling on a sound stage. I just love how lines like that don't remotely sound like they're outside. What is going on with Scarecrow? He looked like he had Scarecrow's mask on Hawkman's body. Did you notice that?
It was even better. He was wearing a Hawkman mask over his Scarecrow mask. And he ripped the Hawkman face off.
Oh, and the Bat Buggy's got like a big fan in the back.
Yeah, so it goes faster.
Oh, okay.
This episode really likes crotch level shots of Batman and Robin. Like
discussing
5
topics
shots in a row.
Discussing topics says Black Vulcan is more memorable than the samurai guy. I don't think I disagree with that.
I can't disagree with that. Scarecrow looked like an old man in that shot.
This is really a predicament here, Austin.
Yeah.
They could have just drowned them, but no. Look, we got Dormammu here. We got Dormammu if he was also Dracula. Oh, and then who is that? That's not the prankster. Who is that?
I don't know.
Is that some weird version of Toyman? I can't even remember.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You know what? Maybe he does just say "Meanwhile at the Hall of Justice" the same way every time. I might be giving that too much. It is Toyman.
What is Hawkman's voice? Hawkman, have you seen Batman and Robin? Oh no, I haven't seen him all day. Why is that his voice?
If Hawkman looks directly into the camera like he just did, he looks cross-eyed. You see that?
Yeah. Did you notice that when he walked away, the sides of his cell went with him?
No, I did not see that. I was reading comments. Robert Wild says,
Yeah,
the samurai guy called Samurai. See, that's how memorable he is. His name is obvious, and we can't even remember his name. Oh, I just forget Sinestro's in this.
He's not even yellow.
Nope.
Dink.
But
Dink.
But see, I don't know my Green Lantern history well enough. Is the yellow thing, like, after this?
Does that come later? I don't know. I don't know anything about Green Lantern either.
Somebody will tell us.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta throw you so that then I can walk around like this some more. Discussing Topics also says Flash actually flies on the show sometimes. It seems like pretty much everybody does except for Batman, like, and then Robin.
That's kind of like Transformers in G1 where they can all just fly for no reason.
Because they'll do these shots where they've got everybody coming at the camera or you know, like, flying away, and I guess you're supposed to just suspend your disbelief and go, I guess he's jumping.
Mm-hmm. They also look like action figures where they go into their boxes where they're like...
I want an action figure of this guy.
Yeah. This is like that blue face in the sky from Power Rangers.
Robert Wild says this is how Sinestro used to look in the comics. He had a blue suit for a long time. And yeah, I knew that look wasn't made up for this, but I'm just not sure when yellow happens.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Superman.
I love... Superman is just an exposition head in the show. I mean, he is giving orders and stuff, so I mean, he is the leader. But it's funny because it sounds like that guy should have been the announcer. You know what I mean? It's like Superman was given a game show host voice, or like a game show announcer voice.
Yeah, because I feel like Wonder Woman would say, like, oh, we need to find Robin, and then Superman would stand there and go, Robin is friends with Batman. Thanks, Superman.
He is pulling around in the Bat Buggy. Although
Batman
I can also
is a
say
part
that
of the Super Friends.
Lex has a really similar voice to that too, just slightly more sinister, I guess. He's still just constantly announcing things.
That's right, Superman.
Bad guys talk like this.
I love when people say dialogue in these shows that sounds like they would be in comics at this time, like, I'm getting weaker.
I guess the Legion of Doom is made up of, like... Am I right about this? Of mostly, like, two of each of the major heroes' villains, and then we just ignore all the other heroes.
Yeah.
But then, I guess, because, like, Aquaman has Black Manta, but I guess nobody else. And Green Lantern has Sinestro, and I guess nobody else. So maybe I'm wrong about that.
Who else can we put for them?
But, like, Superman has two, and Batman has two, and Wonder Woman has her one.
Mm-hmm. Well, in Batman, they picked really weird choices. Like
that's what I said earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Well, and then I guess Flash has two. Well, no, Toyman would be another Superman, so that's three actually.
Yeah.
Because Flash just for him, because Flash just has Captain Cold. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, this guy now he's Flash. Look, he looks like he's on Flash's body. No, they're right there.
Yeah. They're literally not gone.
Oh, and you remember Apache Chief?
No.
the guy that the Native American guy that gets really big is Apache Chief.
I just called him Tonto before.
A lot of racial stereotypes in these shows in the 70s.
You there, old witch!
Eat some of those mushrooms!
You there, old witch. These pretzels are making me thirsty.
I still don't understand why the giant woman from the previous episode didn't have shoes on when all of her other clothes could grow. Like, even this witch in the swamp has shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's the kind of insights you can expect on tonight's program. See, I don't know why you're praising the Scarecrow design. He looks like his face is melting.
I know, he looks awesome. I love him.
So his hair is made of, like,
no, I think there was like
French fries.
There was like a better shot of him earlier, okay? And the animated series Scarecrow does not look good.
It looks better than this.
Okay, I admit that now.
You have to.
He looks like a raisin.
True. There's no arguing with this.
He's like a raisin with French fry hair.
He's got French fry hair. At the top security federal plutonium. How many zombies are there?
Too many. No, there's only 3.
Well, that was easy. So you got all these guards, but you didn't lock that gate?
No.
Okay. You know what, though? This is so much more exciting and like ominous comparatively to the first season where they're just like fighting forest fires and tornadoes and stuff. Like, this is at least a villain plot, even if nobody's gonna get hit in the face or anything.
Yeah.
This is not fun to watch until the Legion of Doom shows up, in my opinion.
Tell me that Scarecrow is not the best thing in the show, Cap.
Okay. Scarecrow is not the best thing in this show, Cap.
He clearly is. He clearly is.
Although I can't tell you at the moment what he is, so...
Even his voice, he's...
Right now, it's the vampire head, disembodied floating head for me. I'm really digging that character.
Oh, she looked like Gargamel in that shot.
Yeah.
The Crypt Keeper from the Tales from the Crypt comics.
That needs a cartoon show.
That does need a cartoon show. That'd be awesome.
Okay, that lighting effect on the witch was kind of good. See, I don't even want a full action figure of the Dracula head. I just want the head. Wait, did we just put... Maybe it's just a head. Scarecrow just put him in a ball? Like he's a hamster?
Every face Scarecrow makes is so funny.
Later,
he's
at
horrified
the Hall
that
of
shot.
Doom, that gorilla just has a giant smile perpetually plastered on his face.
Yeah, and he was standing next to Scarecrow who was like... Even now he's horrified. The Riddler's pissed.
Riddler's just there, really. That guy can't talk without laughing. Oh, and then suddenly Brainiac is there.
Yeah, Brainiac's wearing like a golf shirt.
Did you see Lex's face at the end of that statement? He's like...
Yeah, he was like...
I feel like we keep just cutting to random members of the Legion of Doom that weren't there before. Like, at any point, anybody could show up.
Yeah. Okay, Josh points out why Scarecrow's my favorite thing in this, which is that he's constantly off model in every
No,
shot.
it's true.
I don't think he has a model.
They're not having that problem with anybody else. Ah. Oh, yeah, they're going to get in that way. Oh, they are getting in that way. Well,
Yeah,
why
yeah,
pound on it if you
Why
can
was
just...
there like a city background? Aren't they in the swamp?
That's a good point. But why were this... But let's not bury the lead here. The zombies start banging on the outside of the Legion of Doom headquarters and then just start stripping the outside. Why'd you bang on it then? And then how are you stripping metal? Are they super strong? I don't understand these zombies.
Oh my god, they're everywhere.
They're all over the place.
This is just the ending of Night of the Living Dead now. This is genuinely scary.
I don't think we can get better than this episode, by the way.
Yeah. They're gaining on us!
We've still got a chance.
Where are they now?
Can I have a Power Rangers season where there's a big vampire head in a tube?
Did you see how scared Lex Luthor was in that close-up? This episode
I think
is
everyone
awesome.
else could figure that out, Batman. Like, thank you for that exposition.
Yeah. What are you, Superman?
Yeah, and then Robin held on to the holy thing in the show. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, I did notice that in the last episode.
Robert Wild, I've always loved how the Legion of Doom headquarters is just a giant Darth Vader helmet. It absolutely is. But this predates Star Wars by a little bit. Well, I don't know if the Legion of Doom stuff does.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure when season 4 starts. I'd have to check dates. Because it does look like it's just ripping off that design.
Mm-hmm. Oh, now the music's getting really funky.
Now we're getting into the funk music, yeah.
Yeah.
Now it sounds like we're on the set of Match Game.
Why was Flash, like, his audio was so bad?
Oh, yeah, this is 79. So
oh, okay.
They're absolutely looking at the Darth Vader helmet.
What's
Robert
like Darth
Wild says
Vader...
fast zombies. See, he's
Darth
expecting
Vader
me to get
and Black
really excited
Manta.
about this episode because it's zombies, because I'm a closet zombie fan. And yeah, I think I am enjoying this more than I should because of that.
No, this episode's awesome. Yeah,
yeah, look, it's
the design
it's just
is
Darth Vader's head.
It's Darth Vader and Black Manta. It's like a cross between the two of them.
I'd watch that.
Yeah.
Where's everybody else? Like, are there multiple rooms in the... What happened to Wonder Woman's face? Speaking of off model, it's so much longer than it used to be.
Whoa.
That sound effect is in the show everywhere, used for all kinds of stuff. The like, bring. Oh, see, I knew there was gonna be a big reveal. The witch is that guy.
But she was also in the same place as him earlier.
Hey, I don't know what his power set is.
Yeah, that is true. Oh, they didn't laugh at the end.
I'm sure I'll see her again. I'm sure she'll come back. That was amazing.
That was wonderful. Gunn, go and make that.
You want live action Super Friends, or you just want that episode adapted to
just
into a
that
film?
episode? Make that a Halloween special. That can compete with Werewolf by Night.
Are you cool if the movies give us the Legion of Doom headquarters that looks like the giant Darth Vader head? Because I kind of want that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Remember when they did that preview for the Justice League movie and they tried to edit it to make it look like Super Friends?
Yes. Remember all the Super Friends references that were all over the CW shows? They were really cutesy about it.
No.
I remember that. Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna read some more of one of these articles. And
Is Scarecrow on there?
Oh, we could. I was gonna do the Riddler.
Okay, we can do the Riddler. That's fine.
Yeah, Scarecrow is on here. We'll go ahead and read that one first. We'll do Riddler later. We'll do all the Batman stuff. Okay, here we go.
Make sure you read it like Scarecrow.
No, everybody's gonna leave if I do that. By the way, we've got a decent crowd here tonight. Thanks a lot for being here. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Let me go ahead actually and give you the next episode number so that you can set it up. We are. Why does this keep changing around on me? The next episode we're doing tonight. So we did 50-Foot Woman, Swamp of the Living Dead. So the next one is Giants of Doom, another giant one. That's actually 2 episodes behind the one we just watched. So this is going to be a little bit out of order. But season 4, episode 8 is Giants of Doom, and that'll be the next one we do.
Pause. There we go. Well, I just hope I get more Scarecrow.
Scarecrow. Okay.
The Batman.
More reading. Now, once again, I have not read these ahead of time, so if there's like really super like offensive stuff in this, I apologize. Like I don't know what's gonna come up, but it's funny, so I'm gonna read some of it. Okay, here we go. I'm just warning you now. That's the disclaimer. Scarecrow. Scarecrow is about as successful as you can expect a pile of evil straw to be. His only ability, unless you count highly flammable as an ability, was having grenades that made people afraid of things. I'm sure he'd seem like a real asset to a carnival spook house, but when you're a terrorist organization made up of a gorilla and Solomon Grundy, fear is already on your side. That's a good point. No one's going to say, "Hi there, giant gorilla and Frankenstein. I see you brought 11 murderers with you, and oh my god, don't horseplay near the pool! Please, I've got this thing about the water." The Legion of Doom is run by a guy whose talent is a receding hairline, and he hires people whose powers are having a boat and tattling. Their abilities are moronic, but at least they're done with them in one step. Even if Scarecrow somehow gets the Super Friends to breathe in a bunch of his toxic gas, he's not done yet. He still has to find some of whatever he made them afraid of. Hitting Superman with a fear of spider bomb is really useless if you don't have a bucket of spiders on you. The one amazing thing about Scarecrow is how specialized all his gases are. They don't turn you into a quivering ball of... I'm not going to read that. They make you afraid of one very specific thing, like heights or fish. To imagine how difficult that must be, it would be like your dentist fixing his nitrous oxide so it only makes you laugh at people getting hit in the balls. Except that would actually be less impressive since your dentist has at least 20 years of schooling, is probably Asian. Oh no, and has access to all kinds of chemistry books. Scarecrow is legally retarded, uneducated, and medically speaking is the floor of a hee-haw set dressed up like a hobo. Oh man. That's pretty funny. Scarecrow's main goal in life, besides not being eaten by farm animals, was to kill the Super Friends, but whenever he showed up, he went through an elaborate procedure that at best hoped to get them scared. He could have saved himself years and years of trouble if he'd have just thrown gas at them that killed them. There are 4-year-olds mixing household chemicals who are accidentally deadlier supervillains than the Scarecrow.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of love some of that guy's writing. My apologies about the Asian dentist thing. Okay, let's get into Giants of Doom. It's season 4, episode 8. God, if I was smart, I would stop reading that, but I'm not going to. Okay.
No, when you apologized, all I could hear in my head was, "Janine, I'm sorry about the bug eyes thing."
Next time I read something really offensive like that, I'm just going to go, no! You don't say that!
You don't say
that! Austin, let's watch this episode and then take a quick break. Come back and do the other two.
Sounds good.
Here we go, folks. Hope you're having a good time with this. Make sure you're at timestamp 0 watching Season 4, Episode 8, The Giants of Doom. And here we go. Everybody, please press play right now. Boy, if I had a dime for every time I've said that in my life now. Oh, okay. So they do specifically say there's 13 of them. It's just weird the ones that like just hang out in the background. Like, if you had Brainiac, wouldn't you lead with Brainiac a lot?
Yeah, not Scarecrow. Or Riddler.
Scarecrow seems like the other leader of this team.
Yeah.
At least according to that last episode.
Well, imagine like your leader is like, okay, guys, we're gonna attack the Super Friends. Hasn't installed confidence. We haven't really had any Aquaman.
Say again?
So we haven't had any Aquaman really in this show so far.
No, and you think we would have had some in the swamp where there was water.
Yeah.
Jeffrey came in, good to see you, and says, howdy all, Super Friends is such an interesting show to me when it became the Superpower show. Loved that Darkseid. We're going to watch some of them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're back in the swamp. Oh, well, it's because that's where the Legion of Doom headquarters is.
Yeah.
I don't know if this whole episode will be in the swamp.
I don't think so. All I know is I think Brainiac and a few other people become giant in this. That's what I know.
The title would suggest that, yes.
Yeah, I can't remember who the other three. Maybe Toyman?
Oh, really? We're going to let Bizarro plan our next plot? Okay.
Me make good plan.
You're really purple now, Sinestro.
Me invent vibranium.
Me memorize periodic table.
Riddler was really happy listening to that, and he's not the person I would think would like that.
Okay, so here's an idea. Well, that's a good point. You can already get big, but I guess we need everybody to get big. But here's an idea. How about...
She's not even the 50-foot woman.
Well, I think she can change her size. Maybe she can get 50 feet. I don't know. But I would think you wouldn't want Bizarro breaking into the Justice League computer. You would want Brainiac to do that, or Lex Luthor, or somebody that, you know, has brains and can do such things.
I think you're just prejudiced.
That's probably true.
When he does have a yellow ring and has yellow powers.
Yeah, he just doesn't have a yellow outfit.
That's so weird. Is he cutting the moon in half? Yay.
See, this is when we start blending the Legion of Doom stuff with what feels like natural disasters. Why does he just have a Starfleet logo on his NASA suit? Did you see that?
No, I missed it.
It was huge! How could you miss it? And it's in exactly the same place it would be in a Starfleet uniform, too.
I hope Aquaman takes place in this because it's in space.
But they're not paying attention to the moon. Oh, it's not the trouble alert. Is that?
How do you know that, Batman?
Look, it's a Starfleet symbol.
Oh my god, it is!
Oh my god, this is like a Chairface Chippendale plot.
I love how it just said emergency alert and Batman went, it's an emergency from the moon!
Discussing topics says, Super Friends confirms moon landing was real.
Oh, damn.
Oh, look, it's the Bat Rocket. We got that in Return of the Cape Crusaders, but I forgot that this show did it first. Sorry, what?
We held on that moonshot for like way too long. Was this episode too short originally?
We're establishing the hell out of the moon here. Wow, they just sliced it in half! That's amazing!
This show rocks. It looks like a
I think we have
gobstopper.
to legitimately give the show more credit and stop acting like it's as lame as we thought it was. Like, this is wonderful.
No, this is awesome.
I mean, it's goofy, of course, but it's very entertaining so far.
Oh, please tell me that Batman will eject out of this rocket.
Into space?
Yeah. I've been reading Suicide Squad, and there's a part where Peacemaker does that in Ostrander, where he's just got like a t-shirt on, and he's got like a little breathing thing on, and he ejects into space. It's awesome.
Did you see the little TV they had with the astronauts that were rolling around in space, and they had to like start the footage over? They had to like repeat the footage.
I love how only one part of the moon drifted away, so Superman could just push it back.
Why does he have to announce how this is going to work instead of just doing it?
I just want Superman to just explain things that are really obvious. Like Superman goes, "The moon orbits the Earth," and then he flies around and he does that.
The moon is filled with craters.
The moon has been cut in half.
So Bizarro seems to be just as intelligent and knows as much as everybody else on that team. He just talks funny, right?
Yeah. Well, Bizarro also looks like Nick Cage Superman.
It would be kind of a coup if Nick Cage came back and just played Bizarro. Like, he never played Superman, but that'd be great.
Well, I want Arnold to play Bizarro, but I would also love Nick Cage.
Yeah,
Bizarro.
You couldn't be disappointed with that.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I'm doubling down on Dwayne Johnson as Mixoplex. I really want that now.
That would be so weird. I don't want to see a CGI small head.
No, I don't think that's what would happen. I think it would just be, well, Mixoplex can look like anything he wants to, so he's, instead of being tiny, he's made him, like, you cast him small, but then for most of the time, he would just be The Rock. I think it'd be really funny.
Oh, okay. See, I thought he would just be small, because I can't see them doing a Mixoplex that's not really small like that at all times.
Yeah, I guess it's more likely that it would have happened under Snyder if Snyder ever did Mixoplex, but...
Yeah, Snyder's Mixoplex would just be a man, and then he would get shot and he would die.
This Toyman design is so weird because the face looks so much like a Batman mask.
Well, and then Captain Cold's like Captain Cold and Mr. Freeze.
Yeah. It'd be really funny if they just made it the same character, where we found out at some point that his name was Victor. Hey, there's Aquaman. He's doing a thing.
Oh, yeah?
He's being flown around by Green Lantern.
He showed up for ice, though, not water.
Oh, he's got the Introdium.
Why is Toyman so small? Now he's not small.
We have no sense of scale
it's
in
like
this
Batman
show.
and Robin.
Sorry, what?
It's like Batman and Robin. They have skates built into their costume.
That's true. Green Lantern has really curly hair.
He does, yeah. He's got the little Superman curl.
That's true. Yes, I was hoping they would do that. So he goes, we got to go back to the Hall of Justice. And then we cut over, and then the announcer goes, meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
Superman and Aquaman were
So
like
good.
taking turns just closing their eyes where they were like, and then they would swap.
Think good thoughts.
It was like they were blinking in reverse. They would sometimes open their eyes. So was there a contract Hanna-Barbera had that said Casey Kasem had to be in every cartoon?
I was just about to make a similar joke, yep. And what's really funny is when they do the Scooby-Doo crossover, you get Casey Kasem talking to himself because you've got Robin and Shaggy right next to each other. Ah, my gravity scrambler. I somehow can scramble gravity. Here's how I'm going to prove gravity exists. I scrambled it.
Oh my god, is this what The Dark Knight was based on?
What was that
They
sound
wanted
effect?
to be cut.
Oh, that's an unfortunate predicament.
Yeah, he's gonna become Parallax.
I have to be honest with you, with these 13 villains, I do not buy the Justice League ever wins anything.
I don't know, they're all losers with dumb voices.
But they shouldn't be, given who, at least half of them, given who they are. Like, when you've got Sinestro and Bizarro and Lex Luthor and Brainiac on your team, I don't see you losing.
But Cap, remember this. They let Bizarro plan this. When they have people like Lex, Sinestro, and Brainiac.
I know, but the plan he pitched sounded like a plan Lex would pitch. That's the thing, is it wasn't a bad plan. It was just like, I know the periodic table. I'm going to get these elements, and then I'm going to make us huge, then we're going to beat the Justice League. The real question is, why don't the Justice League have more members on their team?
That is true, too. They don't even have a Martian Manhunter.
Yeah. I don't think he's ever in the show. I could be wrong about that. I honestly don't know.
Well, I know Cyborg's in this show, so...
Robert Wild just said, oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
know
saw
what?
that in a description for a later episode.
Suddenly, I'm having a flashback. I've seen this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember this bit where they're huge and staring over the Hall of Justice. What I can't remember is if they take their Justice League's giant characters and have them grow. Because I'm pretty sure Apache Chief's power is getting huge.
Wait, okay, so Superman was there with Wonder Woman, Robin, and Apache Chief, and then the camera went in reverse, and he was standing with Batman and Robin. And that was it. Okay.
Oh, he's going to use her as a yo-yo.
That's right, Wonder Woman. Pull my finger.
But as that's happening, she can make him tell the truth about something.
Yeah.
Robert Wild said Martian Manhunter never appeared. He wasn't on the Justice League in the comics at the time. I wasn't sure when that first happens. Oh, now they're in a capsule.
When what first happened, sorry?
When Martian Manhunter joins the Justice League.
Well, he must leave at some point, because he's an original member.
Okay, in the moment, I just assumed I wasn't remembering things right. I was like,
oh, yeah.
Do we need to leave and come back? But we had a lot of roster changes with Justice League, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. That is an unfortunate outfit, Brainiac.
And now I'm going to talk to your feet. I agree. That is unfortunate.
He's got, like, the Robin underwear and, like, a cardigan.
So we've got them all in a capsule now. And then the last episode, we had them all in, like, individual tubes.
Mm-hmm. There's a theme going on.
Now they're just in Washington, D.C. Oh, they're going to get the landmarks, just like the aliens in Independence Day.
Me no like phallic symbol.
Meanwhile, in China...
Meanwhile, at the Legion of China... Whoa. That shot was crazy.
Oh my god. This is really funny. It's like Superman 3 and 4 were looking really hard at Super Friends. Can you really make a whole group of lions with your ring?
Oh
boy,
my.
the narrator's having to do, like, overtime this episode. Meanwhile, in Beijing, on Saturn...
Very diverse locations.
Oh, of course Batman solved it with his utility belt.
Except now Batman would be dead. So on Saturn.
Seriously, you even have to put Bat in front of utility belt? Okay.
Of course. I mean, the Scooby-Doo crossover has Bat milk and cookies.
Oh, yes. I forgot all about that. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, because Shaggy's like, Bat milk?
Great Gotham! I'm going to start saying that.
Whoa.
Okay, the real
Just became
question
a
is, how did
Lovecraft
they not
story.
notice that monster until it grabbed them with tentacles? Yeah, Robert Wild, I was going to say, I thought it was Justice League International, where Martian Manhunter was primarily featured around this, just after this period, I guess.
What?
And now we're in Giza. Like, they definitely paid this announcer more money for this episode.
Flash just threw them all into space because there was like octopus monsters.
Oh, good line there, Captain Cold. Did you hear that? He's gonna turn the whole place into the East Pole. I still don't understand why the one character they have on the team that could have grown giant to fight them didn't grow giant.
Yeah.
They have a guy that does that. Actually, even though I'm giant, sometimes I might be much smaller just because my scale keeps changing.
Toyman beat 5 tanks in England and then declared he conquered all of Europe.
Well, Captain Cold did
that's how
something
that
very
works,
similar,
Toyman.
where he was like, I'm going to take over the whole African continent.
I just assumed he was racist. He was like this one little patch. That's Africa.
Well, you remember when Sinestro showed up in Beijing and went, hello, my Chinese friends? That's what he said. I mean, I guess it's not inaccurate. He's in China.
Batman and Robin are just in space.
How are you?
my
Wait,
God.
now you put a thing over your head after you had dialogue? You just explained what you were going to do, and then you went, oh, you know what? Breathing. Wait a minute. But then it's got ears that come out the top, and there's holes there, so he should be suffocating and dying right now.
He still let his bad ears go out.
I want that poster on my wall. I want a poster of Bizarro next to the Capitol building.
Just standing on top of it.
It's very provocative.
Wonderful. Did you see Wonder Woman's face when she was watching him?
No, I
She
missed
was
that.
like,
What is Black Vulcan's power? Does he also get giant? I can't remember.
I don't know. I don't even know who that is.
Well, he's the black guy that...
Well, I know that. Whoa, Batman's symbol was reverse colored there.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Whoosh. Oh, my Chinese friends.
How long did it take them to build this chair?
Now we're huge so we can beat you.
I made a Twizzler, Green Lantern.
So it's sort of electrified, I guess. Oh, I never thought you'd make this big bottle and put a cork in it. Oh, lightning power. Okay, so he's just black lightning?
He's just Static Shock.
Good one.
How did he melt it with a tornado?
Well, I mean, that's how I defrost things at my house. You know, like, if I got frozen chicken, I just pull out my tornado. And
Oh, of course.
it spins around a lot, and then I've defrosted my chicken. That's not Europe. That's the Earth. Get him, giant Batman. That was amazing. Wait, that's all it took? So
Yeah.
Batman just sticks his hand out, and then the toy soldiers fall down, and then he goes, toy man's, oh crap, I guess I'm defeated now.
Oh no, I am defeated.
Robert, while I did remember, now that we're talking about that they made up Black Vulcan because they couldn't use Black Lightning, which was weird, but I didn't know if he still had the same power set. I honestly could not remember that.
Oh, he just threw it at him. Yes.
Bizarro. Now I fixed the phallic symbol. What else were you going to put him in? A cage that wouldn't fit him?
How did he? If he was able to put him in it, he could get out.
Yeah, he should have lifted it, and then when he put it on top of it, just sealed it with his heat vision, and then you'd buy that he'd be stuck in it, right?
Yeah.
As much as anything in this show, I mean.
Is this what the Lego Batman movie is based off of, where they can't actually catch any villains?
Yes. Put it on your head, Superman. Put it on your head.
Just go.
Oh, come on. Put the Darth Vader helmet on your head, Superman.
What is Batman's pose right now?
His shoulders are like protruding out of his spine. I don't know what's happening.
That Superman Year One, that like awkward cover everyone makes fun of.
Okay, I honestly don't know if I liked that one or the Swamp one better. That was really funny.
I like the Swamp one better, I think, but that one was really good too.
I'm gonna give it to this one just because we got to see Batman give a soliloquy in space and then put a helmet on that he should still get suffocated wearing because it has holes on the top.
Actually, yeah, you know what? It is really hard to decide. There were some insane things.
It goes. That puts. I don't know. Some of that stuff puts it over the top to me.
I was just missing Scarecrow.
Oh, I know you were. Okay, I'm gonna read about Riddler and then we're gonna take a break. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay, here we go. So going back to Sean Baby here. Here's Riddler. The Legion of Doom had everything they needed. A bald guy, a gorilla, and a robot in his underwear. But somehow the world still ignored them when they ran outside and declared themselves absolute dictators. That's when the guy in the black wearing green pantyhose said, "What if we told everyone what we were going to do before we did it?" Perfect. It was a little bit more evil than their previous idea of not telling everyone their plans. And a lot better than their idea before that, treehouse. The Riddler's power was giving the heroes clues to help them on their way. He wasn't an informant or a traitor, though. I think he just really liked the friendly prison life and could never wait to get back. The saddest part of his amazing ability to gossip was the huge deal he made out of it. He couldn't just call the Super Friends and tell them his evil plans. He'd stay up all night to make sure it was all in the form of a shitty poem. When he popped up on the trouble alert, he seriously was so excited about his riddle, he could barely keep from humping the screen. When the Super Friends thought through a riddle, it was like a man with a head wound reading random words out of a dictionary. So the Riddler brought more to the show than just a new standard in effing stupid. His super riddles helped us see the frightening logic train in the Super Friends' heads just enough that we could almost understand how they ended up in clothes like that. For example, people like you can see an oven and grunt out loud. Oven is hot, hot things hurt, hurt is bad, it is bad to touch oven. The Super Friends see an oven and shout, oven, heat, lava, great Gotham. The Legion of Doom's headquarters is in the heart of a volcano. But the most insane part is that they're usually right. After they're done, to be honest with you, 60s Batman was that way too. After they're done spitting out nonsense, they jump into the volcano, sometimes in protective lava-proof jumpsuits, rescue Aquaman, stop the bad guys without punching them, make a joke about how it was a hot time, and the only thing you did was sit in a room next to an oven and not touch it. You suck. Okay, we're going to take a break, folks. Give us about 4 or 5 minutes, and then we're going to watch our last 2 episodes. Let me tell you what the next one is so that you can pull it up yourself. We're going to do season 9, episode 1, which is Bride of Darkseid, which was
Heck
the big
yes.
one that this guy wanted to make sure we did today.
Yeah, because I've seen it in a like a clip, like montage thing of Darkseid, and he's awesome in this show. Because
And
he's
by
just
awesome, you mean not awesome.
no, in that he's like genuinely awesome. And he's like he just wants to marry Wonder Woman, and that's like his only motivation.
Okay, so this is weird because
Mhm.
apparently it cuts somewhere in the middle. It's still only 23 minutes long, so it's a couple minutes longer, but it has it listed as Bright of Darkseid Part 1 and then Bright of Darkseid Part 2.
Yeah, I noticed that too, but then it was just one
It's one
episode,
episode.
and it wasn't like a double length episode. It's very strange. Oh, you're right. It's only 2 minutes
It's
longer.
2 minutes longer. Yeah, I don't know what that's. So we'll see what it looks like here because I think it's going to put up a title that's like
Intermission.
Part 1. Yeah. Or it'll be like to be continued, and then like right now, I don't know. We'll see what that's like. All right, folks. Like I said, we're gonna take a little 4 or 5 minute break. If anybody pops in and wonders what is happening and why they're just seeing a title, and you happen to be here, please let folks know in the comments what's happening, and we'll see you in just a little bit. All right, welcome back, everybody.
We're back to find Wonder Woman.
Dun 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 dun. Oh, I still have the A-Team stuck in my head.
Yeah, I went to the washroom, and I was like, "Oh man, that Super Friends theme." Dun 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 dun. Dun. Dang it, Cap.
Dun dun dun. Yeah, it's like the old GNN theme we used to use. That would, in my head, constantly turn into the theme from Donkey Kong Country.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
It's like
so
me every time I try to do Indiana Jones or Superman. It's always the one I don't want.
come on, brain, work with me.
Yeah.
Okay, season 9, episode 1. This is, I'm assuming, the first Darkseid episode. I think he was the villain for that whole season.
Yeah, I think he pops up quite a bit, which is pretty cool. This one also has Firestar.
Oh, Firestar. Okay, I'm confused. I thought, who am I thinking of? I thought Firestar was.
Oh no, sorry, Firestorm.
Oh, this has Firestorm. Okay, interesting. Because I was gonna say, isn't that 1/3 of Spider-Man and his amazing friends?
I think it is. I meant Firestorm.
You're really losing your geek cred right now, buddy.
I know, right?
He doesn't know the difference between Firestorm and Firestar. What a goof.
What a goon.
Okay, is everybody ready? Once again, season 9, episode 1 on HBO Max, Bride of Darkseid, and Bride of Darkseid Part 2. We'll see what that whole thing's about.
All I know is this is a better version of Darkseid than the Snyder Cut.
Everybody's coming out in the comments telling you how stupid you are for thinking that Firestorm was Firestar.
That's okay.
It's not even the same gender. Okay, everybody, please press play right now. And this is going to be a different intro. And a different title, probably. The excitement never ends. Worlds unknown.
Oh, this one's kind of lame because it's just stuff that's going to happen in this episode, I think.
Oh, that's what it looks like, yeah. Oh, you know what? They were doing that earlier, though. We had that with the
that
giant
is true.
Episode. We've had 2 giant episodes.
Now it's actual intro. This intro's bizarre, though.
Oh, Firestorm's... Oh, introducing Firestorm. He's just in this intro.
Oh.
How can you be off-model in the intro? There's Apache Chief punching people. Aquaman's, look at me! I get to do something and not just be rescued.
And I help.
That robot thing looks like a villain out of Space Ghost, which was also a Hanna-Barbera show.
It's probably the same design. Probably just reused it.
It's not, but boy, it's close. I cannot think of the name of that villain, but it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, yes, the Superpower show, because Jeffrey mentioned that that's what this was called, and I forgot about that. I think this is one that I have. By the way, Alan Burnett's name is on this. Yes. Yeah. He laments in the featurette on the new Batman animated series Blu-rays how impossible the show was to work on and tell stories in. And how he would have probably quit animation if they hadn't been able to make Batman the way they made it.
Just fly higher, idiot.
What is that, Otis from the Superman movies? Are they headed to Otisburg?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Dana, first Aquaman's only appearance this season is in the intro.
Seriously? That's amazing.
Meanwhile, at the Daily Planet... Wow, look, we got the Daily Planet. The globe looks awful.
Yeah, it's not even a globe, it's just a sphere.
Hey, Lois, why are you looking directly at the camera? I like that their Superman is at least doing a different voice for Clark Kent.
And their Lois is so raspy.
Yeah, because they're probably trying to sound like the movie.
Clark. Yeah, I guess that's true. That's probably what they were going for. What's going on, Lois?
Do you want some freshly squeezed orange juice?
Can you read my mind?
Lois, stop smoking, for the love of God. Can you hear all the things that I'm thinking of? And Wonder Woman versus the Titanic. Thunderbolts of Joe. What?
I want Gal Gadot to say these lines.
I don't think we're going to hear Gal Gadot say much of anything anymore as Wonder Woman.
Why is she going to die? Oh,
no, as Wonder Woman. Just let me finish the sentence.
But that was a funnier one to cut you off on.
Did you? It was. Did you hear what Firestorm just said? He's like, I came up with my name myself. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Now that I'm here, no one's going to need Aquaman anymore. Wow. That Wonder Woman's a fox. Hey, look, the professor just looks like Clark Kent.
I was wondering if they would do the split thing or if they would just kind of ignore it, because the show's not really super concerned on that stuff.
Yeah, but it sticks more to comics than you would expect it to if it ever actually bothers with Origin.
Yeah, but I figured, because we haven't had any secret identity stuff so far.
The Daniverse says Wonder Woman's voice actress is so bad she literally only got the role because she was dating the voice director.
Oh, we have Adam West now.
Yes, because I think the Batman show was probably on at the same time this was on.
Okay.
Or he gets this role and then they spin him off. See how he just hopped out of that boom tube?
Yeah. It's awesome.
Why does he sound like Soundwave?
Because he is Soundwave.
Is he?
Moron. Yeah, it's Frank Welker.
Well, no, okay, but I mean, Frank Welker voices all kinds of stuff. My only point is, why are they trying to make him sound like Soundwave?
Well, I'm
saying it's a strange choice for his voice to sound like that.
So that's his Dr. Claw voice, and then for Soundwave, they put it through a filter.
This sounds like it's through the same filter, is what I'm saying, or a similar one.
Which is interesting, because I just hear Dr. Claw before I hear Soundwave.
That's fair. Oh my God, this is hilarious. He sounds like Tony Todd if he had a cold. Who has voiced Darkseid now, but only in Lego movies.
Well, he is temporarily weakened.
I'm Darkseid and I need a lozenge. Somebody give me a lozenge. I must marry Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah, that whole thing is famous from this.
I love it.
Wow, look how 80s this is.
That's so bad. It's Indiana Jones.
Well, no, it's Professor Stein. He's one half of Firestorm.
He's Professor Clark Kent, like you said.
Right. He's Professor Long-Haired Clark Kent. Wow, and you interrupted that character, too.
Oh, and that was just Frank Welker, too, doing the radio host. Because it was just like Fred from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, and I'm actually kind of surprised that wasn't also Casey Kasem, considering that he's, a radio personality and also did a lot of the radio voices and things in these shows.
Mm-hmm. Like Batman's little copter he's in.
Oh, you've met your match now. Oh, have you? From where?
You've heard of me, Wonder Woman.
I'm famous. Ooh.
I'm famous.
I'm so famous.
And he throws his disco ball net.
Yeah, he just threw the logo of the Planeteers from Captain Planet.
It's a kryptonite net, but the others can't.
What is
move
happening
it?
to Black Lightning's
I don't
face
know.
or Black Vulcan's face? His lips were like. Oh, it's not a boom tube, it's a Stargate. That's gonna be a thing
fun.
later, guys.
Yeah.
Robert Wild said that was a killer Louis Armstrong impression.
And I think to myself,
I will marry Wonder Woman.
what a wonderful boom tube.
But I mean, really, what would Aquaman be doing right now? Not a lot of anything.
I mean, what's Black Vulcan doing? What is any of them doing, really?
Well, he's at least got lightning powers. He could be doing something. He hasn't been, but he could.
But what can Robin do that Aquaman can't?
Well, he has to say catchphrases. That's important. And
okay.
drive whirlybirds?
Yeah. All I can think of with
Great.
Robin Super Friends is there's a Family Guy bit where it's Robin from this, and he's trying to save people that are about to fall off a cliff in a car, and he's like, "Well, I got a phone, but I got no buyers."
So this is all Alan Burnett, right? Going, we're going to do as much Fourth World as we can possibly actually get away with?
Probably.
Because I didn't know if we would even go to Apocalypse.
Yeah. Yeah, I would imagine so.
Hi, Desad.
Where's
How's
Stephen?
it going?
Hey, Calabac didn't come back with him. Oh, he's just here.
Yeah. Well, he
Why
must
does
have
he have
taken
a
his own
bat
Stargate.
symbol? He's got like a little bat symbol on his sash.
He looks sad when he's rebuking his henchmen. He's like, Darkseid does not miscalculate. You know what's weird about Firestorm in this?
What's
He
that?
doesn't have fire hair that's like always on fire. It's just hair that's red and sticking up.
Yeah, it's like they saw like a comic and they didn't realize that's what it was.
See how shocked Batman was? I like that they're introducing Firestorm like they are just to like let the kids know what the concept even is. Like, I wasn't actually expecting that. I thought he'd just be here.
Yeah, same. They're really hardcore. Like, hey kids, love Firestorm.
Firestorm's cool. Yeah. I used to have, or maybe I still do, a figure of Firestorm from around this period. I don't know if it was in the Superpowers collection
Oh, okay.
or what it was from.
What is cooler though, this or CW Firestorm?
I mean, they're probably on par. No, I actually liked the CW Firestorm at the beginning. I think they did a pretty good job with him. I don't like
Yeah,
him
I'm
as much
hoping
later.
we get a DCU Firestorm. I know that was one of the characters I mentioned when we did that speculation cast. But that could be pretty cool.
So I don't understand in these shows why they interchangeably call themselves the Justice League and also Super Friends. Like, the show's called Super Friends. They're in the Hall of Justice. The team is called the Justice League, but they also call each other Super Friends.
Look, yeah, because they're all just really good super friends.
Oh. Oh my god, everybody's after Wonder Woman in this.
Oh my god, it's like Jean Grey and Stanley X-Men.
It's exactly like that. Except if Darkseid was trying to marry her at the same time.
Yeah.
Or, an X-Men equivalent. Whoa. What is going on with that dog? Oh, wow. This is some sinister stuff right here, Austin.
This is horrifying.
Yeah. They, they can make dogs scared of cats. You know who else could have done that? Scarecrow. And your wife, right? Oh, there you go. With this device, I can force her to be my queen. Anybody else want that to be the announcer voice now?
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
I do.
That was even the voice of Malbolgia in the Spawn movie. That's what he sounded like.
Welker, yeah.
And it was Welker, yeah. Darkseid's got a one-up on him because at least his mouth moves when he talks. Okay, so his Stargate is literally a Stargate. It's shaped like a star, and then it turns around and then he walks through it.
Well, he's kind of modeled his life off of Wonder Woman when you think about it, because he comes through the stars and he's wearing her underwear.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I didn't have that thought. And now he's kidnapped. Well, what happened to his face? See how puffy it was? It looked like he got stung by bees. Oh, no. Oh, now it's Flight of Darkseid Part 2.
Yeah, it was only 14 minutes. And the next Part 2 is 8 minutes.
I guess just because it's over a commercial break.
They're not even equal in length.
It's really weird. We're actually trying to halfway do a character arc for Firestorm here. This is actually relatively smarter and more sophisticated than what we watched earlier, if such a thing is possible.
I mean, I don't know.
I said more so. Robert Wild says Firestorm causes a lot of problems in the show.
Oh, that's not good.
Why are you smiling?
Because no matter where Wonder Woman is in media, she can't act.
That's not fair. The Wonder Woman in the Bruce Timm-verse is really good.
No, that is true. That is true. It's a giant shame Wonder Woman's never had her own cartoon.
Yeah, well, and I know I know not everybody agrees with this, but I like the animated movie they made for the direct-to-DVD line, and I think her voice actress is good in that too, but it's been a long time since I've seen that.
Which one?
Just the Wonder Woman movie they made in the DC Direct line.
Like the first. Well, because there was Bloodlines, and then
no, that's way later. But I'm just talking about the one just called Wonder Woman. That's her origin. That. Yeah.
Well, I've heard both are good, so that's why I was wondering.
Bloodlines is fine.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know if you'd seen that first one. Sorry, I was talking about that one.
I haven't seen either.
Yeah. Well, that was pretty cool looking, actually, with the batarangs that came at the camera.
Yeah.
Now I want to see it in 3D. Except I can't.
They're invading Apocalypse with Batman, Superman, Firestorm, and Robin.
At least they didn't bring Aquaman. I kind of wish we'd led with this in Death of Superman because we're getting late enough at night that a lot of folks have left already.
Yeah, that is true.
We saved the stuff I was most curious about for last just because that was the order.
Well, I figured you'd want to end on Death of Superman.
Yeah.
He's shooting balls at them.
Well, they're kryptonite balls.
Yeah, but I mean, still balls.
Well, what if just round objects were Firestorm's main weakness, and then they were made of kryptonite, so it's also Superman's weakness?
Well, okay, when you think about it, okay, so kryptonite is Superman's weakness, spheres are Firestorm's weakness, and
we
then
just decided.
Yeah, and then being hit by something really hard is the weakness of Batman and Robin. So you got all four of them.
So if Wonder Woman was there, is she just immune?
Yes.
Okay.
They would just bounce off of her. Wonder Woman's used to being around. I probably shouldn't say that.
He just put his cape over her head.
Yeah. Because she's weak.
Is Firestorm capable of just walking with his feet? Because Superman walked out of that room, Firestorm got up and flew. And I think we've only seen him exclusively fly.
He was running there. Now he's gone.
Oh, here he is. Oh, okay, there he goes. He just walked in the room.
Schizophrenic.
He, in fact, can walk on his feet. Wonder Woman is creepy in this. She never stops smiling. We'll turn on some lights in your Batcave. I don't know what to tell you.
When I think she's already been mind controlled, maybe I don't know.
Oh, is this gonna be a trap?
Because she's got like crazy eyes.
Now they're in the Technodrome.
Now you will all be my bride.
Robert Wildcap, how does this Darkseid compare to Smallville Darkseid for you? Well, see, he looks like Darkseid, and he is not just possessing Mirror Universe Lionel Luthor, so it's a step up in that way.
Well, he's a step up from Snyder Darkseid, like I said.
Wonder Woman, somebody give me a lozenge.
I love how scary Darkseid...
Resist!
I love how scary, badass Darkseid still calls them the Super Friends and not the Justice League.
Well, that's what I love, because he's just straight up Darkseid in design, and he's got the Dr. Claw voice, but his entire thing is he just wants to marry Wonder Woman.
It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like marriage to Wonder Woman is this Darkseid's anti-life equation.
Yeah, exactly. It's the censorship thing.
I think it's sad that Adam West is just here to explain things. We just rolled Darkseid up in a carpet.
Oh, please be in a carpet. Ah, okay. I was hoping it was gonna be his head.
His head would just be sticking out the side of it.
Yeah, like Grandpa Simpson in the Simpsons movie.
I'll get you next time, Wonder Woman.
I want every time he shows up for this to still be his plot.
No, that's from my understanding. Like through like every episode, he's like Wonder Woman.
Wait, really? It's not just this episode?
No, I've heard that's like a running thing.
Okay, I didn't know that. If that's true, that's amazing.
I love the pose he's striking right now.
he's just leaning down.
How tall is he? Like his knees are at Calabanc's like feet level.
Well, we've already established that there's no sense of scale in this show.
That is true. Whoa.
That's a good point, Robert Wild. He says it's like Thanos in death. So Wonder Woman is his death.
How long can I talk like this before I have to take a breath?
Oh my god, Soundwave is pissed. Daniver says he literally kidnapped Steve Trevor in an episode.
Yeah, Darkseid's pissed he's not losing his virginity today. Oh, I think I've seen clips from that too, with the Steve Trevor. Whoa, what's with Wonder Woman's pose?
Oh no! Now I even have more of the hots for you. She should have kissed him and then been like, oh, that's right, you're fire. Like, ow. Except he's not, because he just has hair.
Yeah, he's just a dude.
Uh,
How old is Fire? I guess he was in college.
that was wacky.
That was awesome.
The voice made the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready to read about Darkseid?
Yes, I was hoping you would go for Darkseid.
Yeah, we're gonna read about Darkseid. Here we go. Darkseid.
Darkseid.
Darkseid was the Super Friends' arch nemesis for the last season of the show. That was the season, which is weird because that's 9. HBO Max has it broken up into 2, like there's a 10th season. But anyway, that was the season when it was still crappy enough to suck, but not quite crappy enough to be good. Darkseid was never very creative with his plans to conquer us. Not like how Brainiac would train kittens to mind control us and get us to steal a super laser for him that turned us into sandwiches. The Super Friends had to do the most ridiculous things to stop shit like that. The Bat Computer would tell them to dress up like penguins and get a crystal from the center of a planet in another dimension, coat it in chocolate, and jam it in Aquaman's ear when he's not looking. Darkseid would just shoot at us with spaceships. The only plan the Super Friends have to come up with is punch spaceship. Nice plan, Darkseid. The Super Friends might be complete morons, but at least they'll probably think to try that. Darkseid's biggest problem is that there are no women where he comes from. He owned an entire planet, giant statues shaped like him, a huge army of spaceships, and he still couldn't get a girl. Because his freaky sidekicks, the only things that live on Apokolips, are flying monkeys and crappy robots. It's why almost every single one of his plans was just him trying to get laid. It kind of looked like he was trying to conquer us. He would hold the world hostage with an armada of spaceships, but then he'd come on everybody's TV and say, I will
spare your puny planet if Wonder Woman promises to become my bride.
That's why we hated his creepy ass so much. Lex Luthor tried to kill us and make us his slaves, but at least he wasn't a date rapist. Maybe he was jealous because our planet isn't a smoldering pile of crap like his is yet. Maybe he is upset about his receding hairline, or because he couldn't give his retarded son Calabac the special attention he needed. Do you think Calabac is tough because of superpowers? Hell no. He's tough because of a lifetime of running his head into things. You fall off the roof into a pile of nails and trash enough times. You'll be a badass too. Oh man, this is great. There's more of this, but we should probably move on. Anyway. Okay, we're going to do one more episode. It's Death of Superman, which won't have Doomsday in it because he didn't exist yet.
No, but it will have the Death of Superman.
Well, probably, like, just ostensibly, right?
Oh, and it's going to have Darkseid in it. Heck yes. Whoa, this is like a way darker intro. Oh. Okay, weird.
Oh, yeah, the animation changes. The style changes quite a bit.
Yeah, well, and I accidentally jumped forward and I saw something I was like, weird. Okay.
This is going to be like the Red Sky season of 87 Ninja Turtles, isn't it?
The last season of animated series. Probably not that bad.
Well, it was also on for the same amount of time as Ninja Turtles. Okay,
Yeah,
let's go ahead and get into this, guys. Make sure you're on Season 10, Episode 9. It's The Death of Superman. And we're going to press play here in just a second. Austin, you got it rigged up? Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, here's our last one, folks. Everybody, please press play right now. Whoa! Look at Darkseid.
Hey, he's very evil. Whoa, Superman's pissed. Oh, there's the Joker.
Oh, wow, look, they're doing, like, shading and stuff.
Yeah, Lex Luthor still has his pink shirt, though.
Oh, crazy. You know, the animation in this looks a lot closer to, like, something like Ruby Spears' Superman.
To what Superman, sorry?
Ruby Spears which had the theme song from it's the only show that ever did the theme song from the movies, the John Williams song.
Oh, interesting.
Galactic Guardians. I don't think I've ever seen this. I said I thought I'd seen the Death of Superman thing, but now that I'm looking at this, I don't know that I have. Is he just dead already, and this is his funeral?
Of course.
Oh, wow. That is what they're doing.
Yeah, and look what they have on their arms. That's what I saw.
Wow.
Right?
That's crazy. They've got the black bands that they do in actual Death of Superman. But this is before that.
He's green?
He's green. Yeah, well, there's precedent for that. Because that's... I'm trying to remember where I've seen that. Isn't there an Alan Moore story that does that?
Oh, I don't know. I need to read more Superman.
Well, Firestorm is still a staple in this, apparently.
Well, apparently he helped get Superman killed.
Oh, so he really is a lot of trouble, then.
Yeah.
This is really interesting. Don't you feel like we're looking at a transition here between the Saturday morning cartoons of the 70s and 80s into what this stuff will be in the 90s? Like,
A little bit, yeah. Which works this, what, like 85?
yeah, so I mean, that's maybe giving it a little bit too much credit, but I'm just saying, like, it looks so different.
Of all the people I've met in my travels, he was the most super.
Human!
Super.
Kryptonian!
They shot him into the sun.
That
Thanks,
also might have just been
man.
ripped off from Wrath of Khan, because that's happened by now.
Oh, yeah.
I think the Super Friends also feel that way, Firestorm.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't remember Cyborg was ever in the show. Stop smiling! Superman's dead! She's always smiling!
You're at a funeral, Wonder Woman.
Stop it! Oh, there's Darkseid's giant statue.
There's people swinging in front of it.
Darkseid has his own playground.
I
God.
love the seesaw.
Now I've been drawn by Mike Mignola.
Stop freaking out and shooting everything.
Whoa, Ernie Hudson is Cyborg?
Oh, I didn't know that. Weird.
That's crazy.
And this would have just been a year after Ghostbusters, too.
Yeah.
Not Ghostbusters 2, but Ghostbusters also.
Look at those Eggman's robots.
Look at those Darkseid's robots! you didn't miss a beat there. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, God, now I'm being carried off by parademons.
Yeah, they're like flying cat people.
Meanwhile, at the... No? Okay, all right.
Meanwhile, at a random polar bear. Oh, yeah, that is Ernie Hudson.
I have no eyes.
I have no eyes and I must scream.
So, are they going to tell us exactly how Superman died?
I think they said something about like a kryptonite poisoning.
Something kryptonite? And Firestorm had something to do with it?
I think that's why he's green.
Well, yeah, I figured that, but was there any explanation as to how exactly Firestorm was involved?
Oh, I don't know. He was just there.
Oh. We even got a close-up on Green Lantern's face, and he had no eyes. Not even no pupils, just skin color where his eyes should go behind the mask.
What a close-up.
I want to watch this season.
This season's crazy.
It's crazy.
I thought he said you're getting pretty bald.
I'm not bald. I have a helmet.
Whoa, look at his eyes.
Only receding.
God, I love this Darkseid. Like, just the design of it in this season.
Yeah,
I legitimately dig it.
No, we made him look more like what he is. DC's Satan.
But I just love how bold all the lines are on his face.
Yeah, no, he looks painted.
Yeah, it's cool. He's creepy. He really does look kind of like a Mike Mignola drawing to me.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. Did you see that Hellboy trailer?
Oh, you know what? I still haven't looked at that. I was in the middle of a show and I didn't have it.
Oh, no,
I was
like,
in the car on my way to a show and I didn't have a chance to watch it. Yeah, it came up on the show last night and I was like, I figured I would be a responsible driver and not watch it while I was driving.
Yeah, no, I watched the show. I just meant more so like, did you end up watching it?
I forgot all about it. Does it look good?
It looks really cool. They gave it that art style, like kind of like what Ultimate Spider-Man looks like. Like it's got like a Beautiful Joe like GameCube art style.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And when it was going, I was like, oh, it's like a Metroid.
So
2D
is it
roll.
flat 2D?
So it's like 2D it looks like, and they're about to start fighting, and I was like, oh, it's like Metroid. And then the camera like backs up and it goes behind Hellboy and he starts fighting a werewolf and it's awesome. It looks really
weird.
cool.
Oh, they're giving us what happened now.
Oh, okay.
It's just talking over this. I thought maybe we missed something.
Whoa!
And see, this was the thing that Dan Jurgens and those guys, when they decided to kill off Superman, thought you really shouldn't do if you're actually going to kill him, is just use kryptonite.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why they invented Doomsday, where they were like, it's so much more impactful if his one weakness that you always thought would be his demise if he died was not the thing that killed him, and it was just brute force. There's even some things Superman can't kill.
Mm-hmm. That's another thing I gotta read.
And so, yes, he's a plot device, but it was a good idea.
Yeah.
That part of it. And also just Superman being killed by a force of nature, that, like, even he has limitations, and, like, I always like that about it.
Well, like I said when we did Nightfall, like, over, Bane and Doomsday, like, they're at least open that Doomsday is just a plot device. So, like, I don't know, it doesn't really bother me as much.
Yeah.
I don't think they're really trying to hide that. Superman had no pants in that shot. I don't know if you noticed that. He had green legs.
Yeah, no, it's not like they... Yeah, I did notice that. But to your point, though, it's not like they were pretending, like, Doomsday was this, like, deep, interesting character. Like, he was always a force of nature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
You and your little Calabac, too.
Well, and then there's, just kind of big DC characters that I don't think are especially interesting, like Darkseid.
Darkseid, yeah. And this is very comic book, by the way. That Superman has a giant key that only he can lift, and he just leaves it outside of the fortress because he knows nobody can get in anyway, so it's just there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not usually this big, but it's heavy.
Yeah, I think it's normally key-sized, but it is, like, incredibly heavy.
It's absurd, but I don't mind the idea of it also being huge, because, like, Superman could still pick that up and use it.
No, it's pretty cool.
Hi, AMC. How's it going? Was sure I missed you, but was pleasantly surprised to see you're still streaming. How many are we in? We're to the last one we're watching tonight. We've watched 4 before this. So, sorry you've missed most of this, but go back and check it out, because we had a fun, goofy time.
Yeah, some real insanity.
Austin, we will do the show again.
Yeah. No, this was really fun.
This is one of those things that's just really easy to talk over.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing we said with 60 Spider-Man. Like, it's just easy to
It's just
hang
Green
out.
Lantern's character model now that he has no eyes. It's not even a mistake. He just doesn't have them.
He's like Scarecrow. He's never on model.
They didn't make one. Oh, look, Superman's not dead. Shocker.
But he's not wearing a black costume.
Or this will be a robot. Yes, it's a Superman robot. See, they're pulling a lot of stuff actually from comics here. Oh, now the name of the team is Superpowers?
How do you know, Green Lantern? You have no eyes.
And see, now I want this Superman to be evil so he can be Cyborg Superman.
Oh, yeah. It would be really creepy to just have a robot that's an exact likeness of you that you hang out with in your house.
Yeah.
Can it look like someone else? Like literally anyone else?
Well, and in a lot of iterations, it's just robots from Krypton, right? That's like Kalax and...
Yeah.
Superman! Oh, yeah. We do that a lot with the Death of Superman idea. Even in adaptations of Death of Superman, like, that's kind of what Superman Doomsday does, where it's like, he wasn't actually dead. He had himself in a trance the whole time.
Yeah, I haven't looked. The only Death of Superman thing I've seen now is this and BVS. I've never even seen Doomsday.
AMC, Cap, do you own the Super Friends Batman Funko Pop that comes with a scaled-down Hall of Justice? I do, in fact. Now,
Hell
my
yeah.
Batman is with all my other Batman Pops, but my Hall of Justice is right over here where I can get at it. Maybe I'll go grab it. Why does the Hall of Justice now look like they took the Hall
like
of
the-
Doom and repainted it?
Well, it's got that like dome on top of the Pentagon.
Yeah.
It's like Lex's building in BVS, where where he's doing all of his experiments around the ship.
See, he has to breathe on average every 6 words to do that voice.
I can't
I
imagine
really
how much
thought
that
I
hurt
would go
the
to the
throat.
store to pick up some eggnog.
And maybe marry Wonder Woman.
Your Darkseid is just a smoker.
I can't do a Louis Armstrong. I'm sorry.
What a wonderful world! Oh, yeah.
Louis Armstrong's my grandma's favorite singer, and every time he comes up, I'm like, I don't get it. He sounds like a Muppet.
I see trees, fields of trees.
Waka waka.
Oh, man.
I watched Field of Dreams.
It's just Louis Armstrong describing what he did today.
Okay, but wait a minute. If there's just a big, giant keyhole,
Why can't you just go through
what's
the hole?
stopping somebody from just jumping through that?
Well, at that point, it's not really a keyhole, because what's it unlocking? It's just a big hole.
Yeah. Well, I guess it still is because you put the key in it and you turn it and you open the door, but who cares if you just walk through the hole?
Yeah, well, and everybody in this world can fly.
But you're right, that's not how keyholes work. They're not just a hole.
It's just a big hole in the wall.
Yeah, no, that's a good point too, though, is that, like, well, maybe it's high enough you can't jump up there, but, like, those superheroes can all fly.
Look, there's all these flying robots.
Nobody will think of it, Austin. They'll just be like, oh, that's a big keyhole. I don't know how to get that up there. Then they'll just leave.
With this sound effect of them shooting, all I can hear is the 90s Spider-Man show. Oh, Calabac is also Fred Welker.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say I could hear
Fred
that.
Welker.
Because for a second I was like, wait, why does he sound like Darkseid just not doing the grovelly thing?
That's how you know they're related.
Okay, so I want a Batman figure now wearing those glasses.
I mean, you can probably get one. He wears sunglasses in the Justice League movie.
Well, that's
It's
true.
not that, but
That's what they were adapting.
exactly. That is like probably the worst Batman costume on screen.
It's
It's
pretty
awful.
Well, why would he need that? He could just have whatever that is in his mask.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. Okay, give me a second.
Yeah,
you
no
comment on things. I'll be right back.
Okay. I have nothing to say. Oh crap, I dropped my headphone.
Austin, we're dying here. You gotta say things.
No! I'm watching this show, leave me alone.
I'm just enjoying.
Yeah, they were doing all this crazy plot stuff. I couldn't ignore that.
But yeah, AMC, here it is. Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
Wow.
Yeah.
You should get the new Hall of Justice though.
What, the one that looks like the Hall of Doom but repainted?
Yeah.
Great
Or just
Gotham.
Man Snyder. Now we're in a Captain Planet episode.
Yeah.
Now it's Transformers.
You know, Darkseid's not trying to kidnap Wonder Woman in this episode.
There's a store in the background called Coffee Shop, and it's all one word. That's weird.
Meanwhile, at the coffee shop. Oh, yes! Whoa. Are you just putting that right up at my face? He's got a Stargate transmitter.
Oh my god, yeah. I think I'm a few seconds behind you, so it's yeah. That's a Smiling Friends joke.
Oh
right
my
there.
god. He's got a whole bunch of them.
Oh my god. Do you think this is what Snyder's plan was? Like he was adapting all of this?
Yeah, maybe so. I mean, he did start with Death of Superman.
Yeah. And
But
Superman's gonna show up and save everything on his own.
I gotta say, this is a lot less lame than I expected it to be. Just
They're
for
actually
being
trying.
a Death of Superman thing. Like, I figured it would be like a lot more of a misunderstanding kind of thing, or just some easy ruse where like the whole Super Friends team was in on like faking Superman's death or something. That's kind of what I expected them to do. This is weirdly a lot closer to Death of Superman, which didn't even exist yet, and oddly other adaptations of it, because the not so good two-part movie that they made for the New 52 continuity has Darkseid behind some of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is Darkseid in that comic at all?
No, it has
I
nothing
didn't
to do with
think so.
Darkseid.
I didn't
No,
think.
And I
Yeah, I
hate
didn't.
that, but that's what they did with it. It was Darkseid or Brainiac, but I'm pretty sure it was Darkseid.
Well, it's probably something like what they would do if they ever did Nightfall. because there's no real villain that goes through all of Nightfall.
Right.
So they would probably try to do something like that, right?
You know, for what this show is, that was okay.
Yeah.
I kind of
agree.
dig that. I like how again, like epic and broad in scope it was. Even if you're
Andrea
gonna find
Romano
out
worked
halfway
on this.
through that Superman was just in a trance.
Mhm.
But it was still a lot less lame than I thought it would be.
Absolutely. I didn't realize Andrea Romano worked on this stuff all the way back then.
I didn't either. Isn't that crazy?
That is pretty crazy. I guess she cast probably two of the better Darkseids, Michael Ironside and Soundwave.
Well, this was interesting and fun and hilarious, but also like oddly enlightening in its way.
Mm-hmm. No, it was way better than I thought it would be.
We're getting an education with this.
Because I was pretty excited to do this, but at the same time, it was like, ah, man, but what if it turns out to be boring? Like, that would suck.
What if it's the same thing over and over again? It really wasn't. I mean, they were all kind of
No.
different.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it was just nuts. No, we definitely need to do this again. Because we clearly have only scratched the surface of this. Like,
And we need more Scarecrow episodes, I think.
we need a Scarecrow Darkseid episode.
Scarecrow.
Hello, Darkseid.
Deanna Verse, you should have watched the Batman Origin episode. If I had picked some of these, I was actually looking at a couple of things, and I probably would have picked that. But I had a writing meeting earlier today, and I didn't have time to look up very much, so I let Austin do it. But Austin, you picked a really good lineup, man.
No, it was really fun. And the Batman Origin episode was, it like just didn't make it. It was close.
Yeah.
So.
Well, folks, we're going to go ahead and bid you farewell, but I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks a bunch for being here. Next week, if everything goes according to plan, on Friday, we're going to finally do Pirates of the Caribbean 2, and that should be a lot of fun. We really enjoyed doing the last one, and that's one of Austin's favorite franchises.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got that and Garfield coming up next week. It's going to be a crazy week.
Christmas special on Wednesday that for the request. And at the moment, I'm still planning on trying to do the rewind for Black Panther on Monday. My weekend is a little covered up, so it may or may not happen. But that's the plan right now, so I'll keep everybody posted. I just need time to take notes and stuff, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just don't freeze.
Don't freeze. All right, thanks, guys. We'll see you later. I was Captain Logan, and I had Austin the TheDayGhost. Austin, thanks so much for doing these things with me, man.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.